meeting of the Parks, Aquatics, Recreation, and Golf Commission to order. Today is Monday, May 13th. Let's see here. Roll call, please.
Yes, ma'am. Chairman Fogg.
Present.
Vice Chairman Ferry. Here. Commissioner Engelson. Here. Commissioner Smith. Here. Commissioner Lawson and Commissioner Dory are excused, and Commissioner Inman resigned. And we have a quorum.
Okay, first order of business, Pledge of Allegiance. Item number 1 is approval of minutes, but I would like to ask something. I know when I went through mine, the park superintendent and the golf superintendent were down twice in the minutes that I was looking at online. If might had just been an oversight, if you wanted to check that out, Sherry. Thank you. May I have a motion or discussion or a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that has passed. Consideration of public comments. Those wishing to address the commission should fill out request forms in advance. Comments from the public will be restricted to items not on the agenda. There will be no comments allowed that advertise for a particular person or group. Were there any requests? Yes. We have a request. And
Yes,
the person's
ma'am,
here?
we do. Joanne Olson is here.
Step right up, Joanne. Tell us your yes, you do, so we can hear you.
Do I have to pull it down?
Yeah.
I should know how to do this, huh? Well, yes, I am. Okay. Okay, I'm representing the Kingman Surbat Garden Club, and what she's passing out to you is our Blue Star Memorial Project. It's been a process, about a year and a half, 2-year process that we've taken this, and we have just finished phase 1 through the help and generosity of Parks and Rec. And our Blue Star Memorial has been installed at Lewis Kingman Park. This just gives you the history and what the Blue Star Memorial Marker Project is. It is through the National Garden Club, and it goes from coast to coast as roadside markers and also memorial markers in certain areas. So this explains it all to you, has a small map about this. Now in the back of the brochure, it kind of looks like ours that we installed. Also included is your invite. So now that the project, this is installed, we have to dedicate the marker. And so we have state representatives from the garden clubs and regional. We've invited just about any association associated with veterans to come on June 12th, and it'll take place at 10 a.m. And so we'd love to see all of you there. So we should have at least 2 color guards. This happens in the week of Flag Day. So Flag Day is on a Friday. This is going to be on a Wednesday, but it's considered Flag Day week. So thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. We will try to be there. I know I like to. Oh, you have one more thing.
Sorry. I said this was phase 1. Phase 2 will be a year from now, and we'll be putting in the Gold Star Memorial. We're using it at the Memorial Park. So Gold Star is for any servicemen that have given their life for any of our military actions or whatever in their job. So, thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. We can't thank our military enough. Were there any other requests, Sherry?
No, ma'am, that was all.
Okay, we are on to new business. Kingman Little League.
See if I can find it. Where is the? I think IT's down there helping me. Here it is, right here we go. Okay. What this is the Kingman Little League wants to donate bleacher covers at Southside Park. We're very, very fortunate, obviously, and the cost of them is $15,949. And we've got them on several of our bleachers, and they're obviously for shade, safety, and they're also good for foul balls, keeping people from hitting the head. And so this is going to go to the council and for their approval, and we just would like for you guys to recommend the approval to the council. So that's kind of what it is. And there's their letter that they sent us requesting this. And basically, I would be happy to answer any questions.
They're solid. We decided to go with a solid roof rather than a tent roof like the park.
Yeah,
on,
well, these are the similar ones to the ones that we have at Centennial Park. They've been there for years, and at Southside Park. So they're matching what's there. And
This is typical.
it's what we've done, and we really like them. They work out well. They're pretty much maintenance free, and they're just a good, durable, keep people from getting it in the head and keep the sun off of them. So, any other questions or?
Any more discussion on that? Do I have a motion from anyone to approve this from Kingman Little League?
So moved.
Okay, a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, that motion passed.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next up, we have the graffiti report.
All right. Evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commission members, and other distinguished guests. My name is Brian Zach. I'm the captain of the Kingman Police Department. I'm over the patrol and basically all of operations minus professional standards. So I'm here to kind of talk to you about what's going on with graffiti and vandalism within the city, more specifically your area as far as the parks. I apologize, I don't have statistics or a PowerPoint put together in the last 15 minutes. I was told this report was going to happen, so please jump in if you have any other questions as far as we go. I'm just going to try to do a general synopsis, if you will, as far as vandalism and graffiti, why people do it. There's many different reasons. Gang affiliation, which I don't believe we have a gang affiliation here. They like to mark their territory and their monarchs. We don't have that problem here. It's not profound in Kingman. Boredom is an excuse, defiance of authority and other people's property. And to plain and simple, it's just a disrespect to other people and their property out of boredom. And most of them are adolescent, and most of them feel that they can get away with it. Graffiti, unless they're actually observed in the moment or on camera, they are pretty hard to track down as far as actually making apprehensions. It's not impossible, but it's hard to do that. Each graffiti case has different boundaries and obstacles to overcome as far as collecting evidence to tie them to somebody, to evidently charge them. Most likely it's somebody that does it more than once, and they do it probably either at the park. They may also do it in their notebook or their locker at school, which then we're in communication with school resource officers trying to track down who this person is and what their monarch is, and we can actually start building cases against this person. And that's where we would collect data as far as the cost it takes to clean up the graffiti or remove the graffiti. If we can get a lump sum of, let's say, 30 incidents of the same graffiti and find out this person did it, we can charge them as a felony rather than 30 separate misdemeanors. So we work well with the city attorney for that. juvenile probation, and hopefully the judges actually will hold these people accountable at a lower level. We call it the broken windows theory. If we address the lower crimes, maybe they'll learn and respect the authority and not go on to create more and more higher tier crimes. The big thing is getting the graffiti cleaned up soon and fast. That way we take something away from them. When they graffiti a wall in the bathroom or outside or something, people can see it. That kind of gives them their pride. They know people are looking at it. We get it cleaned up, we take that away from them. So we're trying to speed that process. I know Mr. Mearsman and his team work very well as far as cleaning up stuff in the parks. Outside the city, it's working with the property owner and it's working with the city abatement team that's out of Public Works, trying to get them cleaned up. Make sure the paints, if we're having a paint over, it's tasteful, or if we're having a sandblast, that it's not damaging the property and it still looks good. Reporting it as soon as possible, so we can actually get it in the process sooner to get cleaned up. There's a lot of questions as far as, well, if it takes so long to get it cleaned up, why don't we just not report it and clean it? We can do that, but in the chances that we do come across somebody's school notebook and they have a whole bunch of graffiti in their notebook, we don't have the cases to tie that graffiti to an actual location, we're kind of letting them get away with it. So it doesn't harm anything as far as making the report. That way we can track it. It's up to us to find the evidence to find out who's responsible and apprehend them for that. So report it as soon as possible. Make sure we're on the same page so we don't report the same graffiti more than once, because we can do it by location and graffiti. But if somebody says it's the north wall when it's really the west wall and it's already been reported, we're going to start having duplicate reports. We run into that time and time again, but not too bad. More eyes, the better. It gives less opportunity for those that, you know, are going to out and actually commit these crime and vandalize property. That it's either in the parks, it's more park rangers, more police presence, cameras. I know, I'm not saying cameras in the bathroom, but cameras on the trails, cameras where it's dark, cameras on the trailheads. You can't go wrong with cameras as far as recording who's actually going there. So we can show a pattern, we can show the time, because most likely when we get the report, it's usually the park ranger, somebody coming in first thing in the morning. So we have a time frame from sometime Friday night to Monday morning, or it could even be Thursday night, 10 o'clock, Friday morning at 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. So we have a long time that this person could have done that, so we can't really pinpoint efforts to target those acts, if you will. But if we had it on camera, we would know more likely than when it was occurring and probably have a good description of that person, and that person's most likely frequenting that location more than once, so we can actually dedicate resources to help apprehend him. So that's, but again, that's budgetary issues. Cameras aren't cheap when you're talking as far as a system set up to view the parks that we have, view the trailheads that we have. That's a lot to ask for, but in the grand scheme of things, that's probably the best avenue to approach to help deter and apprehend. You have a big sign that says you're on camera. They may not. They may, if they're defiant, but they may deter a lot of them. Environmental obstacles. What are in front of these walls that they're graffitiing? Can we put a big thorny rose bush to where they have to really struggle to get into graffiti a wall? Maybe. Lighting. Ambient lighting. If it's dark enough, that's the reason for opportunity that they're going to strike and try to vandalize the property. But if you have it well lit, it's a frequently traveled area, it's less opportunity they get to actually commit these crimes. Examples of I don't know how many culverts are near parks, and this is something for like Jack Paulani to ask as far as why we don't have bars preventing people to go into culverts. I don't know why. I see that in other cities. That would deter a lot of people going in and graffitiing inside our culverts. Bathrooms as well. If bathrooms are getting damaged, I know that's a lot as far as the soap dispensers and everything else. They're going to get closed, and eventually it just costs too much, or limit the access during certain times that the park's open. And that's something for you guys, obviously, to decide. I think they're still getting locked up around 11-ish, yeah. More lighting, again, if it's well lit, criminals don't like that and they're gonna be deterred. That's the best, but you can't light up the trails, you can't light up the parks. So what can we do other than work together as far as be more out there, eyes and ears, report things that are suspicious? That's for us to investigate. We can respond to that. We just need to know the information to be able to do that. So I'll be happy to help answer any questions that I can, shed some light on different areas that I didn't cover. I'm here for you guys.
Thank you, Brian.
You're more than welcome.
Well, you covered a lot there, because I know this was put, we wanted to, on the agenda for this meeting, and I'm glad you're here to share all that knowledge with us.
Absolutely.
Any other comments?
I do have some questions. Thank you so much. That was really helpful. I'm pretty new to this commission, so if this has been talked about with the commission, then I apologize. I'm just learning. Hopefully it'll be helpful to the public too. So is there, is there an amount that someone would be charged if they do vandalize something? And the reason I'm asking is because I'm wondering how effective signs or how preventative signs can be. Like if our bathrooms are getting really vandalized, if we put up a sign that says, you know, if you are caught doing graffiti, you get this many $1,000s of a fine. Is that effective, or is there a certain number, or is that something that kind of needs to happen so that there's more teeth? I'm just curious about that.
A good question. So I would say that's ultimately what a fine will be taxed or assigned to an offender is up to a judge. So as far as what you can go up to the max, you see those maxims like for littering, up to $2,500. I don't think anybody the first time gets the max, but I don't know what that equates to the first time. Signs are good, but then they start getting vandalized and they start.
Yeah.
So I get that point. I just don't know if signs are going to be the answer as far as this is what you're facing, because obviously they're vandalizing or they're graffitiing somebody else's property, therefore they don't really care that way.
Yeah.
But I think if you get a rash, say, I know there was a while for the soap dispensers in the bathrooms, and that was a couple $100s each time, I think. So it got pretty costly, and it lock it up. They're not going to treat those few are going to ruin it. They're going to ruin it because the city just can't afford to bleed out $200 each time, or try to pinpoint when it's happening so we can better allocate resources to try to catch them. And again, that's a perfect world. Catch them on camera, catch them in the act.
Yeah.
We can't be there all the time, but that would definitely help.
Yeah, okay, that's helpful, thank you. I remember when I was a kid seeing signs in the bathroom that were talking about if you steal something, it's this many thousands of dollars, and I just went, wow, you know, because I think sometimes seeing a number, you just don't even think about it being.
Correct.
So I was curious about that, so thank you. And then what is the procedure for the graffiti cleanup? As far as a community member seeing graffiti, what specifically would we do to let you know?
On like in the parks or just out in the community, like?
Well, specifically for parks for us, but maybe in general if it's.
I'll try to answer both.
Okay.
So at the parks, obviously, report it to a park personnel so they can either say, yes, it's been reported, or no, it hasn't. And if it hasn't, then that way they could call and report the graffiti, where it's at, what is the graffiti, what color, kind of describe it so we know what we're going to and what we're looking for. Once it's reported, what's called an abatement form will be filled out, and the city can abate their own property, so it could happen pretty fast. So that once the report's made, we'll photograph it, collect any evidence that we can. We usually look for like shoe impressions. Sometimes we'll look like in the bushes, the trees. Sometimes they like to throw away their paint cans relatively close. So then we log that stuff in to where if we do come back and we can charge somebody with it, we have all that evidence we can. From there, that graffiti can get cleaned up and be gone. So from there, it would go to the parks, and then the parks would fall on their list of priorities to get it cleaned up as soon as they can. So out on the public, if it's on private property, we have to contact that property owner, advise them that it's there. They can either clean it up, and they have a certain amount of time for them to get it cleaned up, or they could elect for the city to clean up and they sign a waiver. From there, that goes to the Public Works, the abatement team that Jack Plotney has, falls on their priority, and then hopefully they can get it out, paint match, or if it's on a block wall, they can sandblast.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I was going to ask about preventative measures, but you had all kinds of great examples of that. And then, so I guess I would just, I have some questions for you, Mike, if that's okay. Should I wait? Okay. So we've talked about cameras a few times. Did that get approved by the city council? Did we get some cameras approved?
I think we have some, in this year's budget, we have a request for some.
Okay, and then I just have a question. Is it possible, you guys always give such a detailed report of all of the graffiti and vandalism and everything that happens. Would it be possible to get a little report of like the graffiti that's happening the most, just so we can kind of be aware of that? And see
You
if
mean
there's
where it's happening?
Yeah, if there's particular places or particular items that are getting vandalized the most.
Yeah, we can add a little more detail to our report. I mean, I think it's pretty detailed, but, and our people will even take pictures of it as well and turn them in. So our rangers do a good job of that. So we can come up with a more detail about where the vandalism is. And like I said, I think it's pretty good in our weekly reports. And we can maybe just include that for this commission.
Oh, that would be really great. I was just thinking about how we had that discussion about like the soap dispensers. And if that ends up being a really challenging thing, I've seen in different communities where they partner with like the welding groups at the community college, and they come up with a design that they can weld over them or different things like that. And I just wondered if there's particular things, maybe we could look at this list that he mentioned for deterring it and see, you know, is there a rose bush or something? Is it a particular wall? I'm just curious about that. And then I guess my last question is just, as far as, I like that idea of getting it and cleaning it up as quickly as possible. And I've heard of when, you know, someone graffitis something that other people will see it and graffiti that as well, and it just kind of is a domino thing. And I think we saw it at the property that the train over here, that big white fence that was along Andy Devine, where a couple people did graffiti, and I think it was up to the you know, the railroad company to come and cover it up, but it didn't get covered up for months, and then before you knew it, there was like 20 different signs on there, you know? So I just kind of wondered, do we have the resources in our city to get in there and clean things up real quickly, or?
Well, we do in the parks. Our team does a really good job of it, but we don't do everything in the whole city. So I think the Public Works is a little bit challenged to get out and get it cleaned up too. And like Brian said, they have to get permission from the property owners and things like that too. So it's a process, I think, to get it. But anything that gets done in the park, we usually get it, either our rangers do it at night sometimes when they see it, even if they get it reported, or else our guys do it the next morning. So our guys really do a really good job, I think, of getting it cleaned up and removed as fast as they can. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Sorry, just let me look at my notes one more time real quick. Okay, that was really helpful, thank you.
Yep.
And
I
thanks,
do.
Mike.
Could you assign a percentage, how much graffiti winds up in the park and how much winds up at the rest of the city? I know the city's a big place.
I couldn't even begin to
Right.
tell you.
Okay.
I would, more obviously happens throughout the city, bigger in essence, but frequency-wise, maybe the park. park, and I'm talking like park, I'll just say city property because the Mojave Wash gets it quite a bit.
Got it, yeah, okay.
We have that, so that's a,
Is that part of our purview?
no.
Well, the path itself is, but not the walls that are along there behind. The walls get vandalized up there by Walmart, and the drainage culvert by I-40, it gets it really bad, and that's not ours either, but like I said, the path itself is, sometimes they'll paint on the sidewalks,
Yeah.
then that's ours, and so we
Yeah.
get it as quickly as we can, so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
Anyone else?
I'll be here for the evening.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Next up is the golf course superintendent report.
Sam's going to do that for Patrick. Patrick couldn't be here tonight, so.
So I'm pinch hitting for Patrick, so I apologize if I seem a little more ignorant than normal, which is hard sometimes. But this is a golf course maintenance report from February. Pat attended the GCSAA Education Conference held in Phoenix to keep up to date on growing trends in the golf industry and maintain his CE points. So I think that's fairly important because for those of you who play golf, you know, we have that, like the brass button weed, and maybe he can get good ideas from other superintendents that tried something and maybe it worked. So just a lot of networking, I assume. Spring aerification process was a success. We pulled cores, half-inch cores across the course. That just allows the grass to breathe. No one likes playing on it, but it's we like to say it's a necessary evil, I guess. Fertilizing after that, and spike seeding allows for the holes to get back to normal quicker. Mike, I assume hot, humid weather is better for healing purposes, is that right?
Yeah, the warmer the weather, where the
Yeah.
grass is growing better for sure, so.
Yeah, so I see him syringing the areas out there as well. Satellite upgrades still on course, rather. If our current budget is approved by council, all satellites will be upgraded and 3 new satellite locations will be installed over the next 2 fiscal years. Irrigation cycles reduced significantly this year, this last quarter, due to rain and snow amounts, 3 inches of snow and almost 7 inches of rain since January 1st. The driving range netting completed in early March will continue into the next 2 fiscal years for total replacement. I can testify that's a pretty important deal because I almost took out 2 people walking on that new trail a couple of months ago. So want to have that netting up there to protect people.
You're supposed to hit the ball straight.
Well, I'm supposed to. I need more time on the range, I guess. Concrete cart path completed around the right side of 12 Green is finished. Pat's guys have been doing a lot requested by ADOSH. We had to put up a new shed behind the grill to store some things because our storage room was also where the electrical panels were, and they told us that we can't have anything there other than electrical panels. So we had to get a tough shed type deal. The plumbing will be moved out of the back room of the grill as well. 3 eye wash shower stations have been installed. Numerous smaller issues have been corrected. So thanks to the maintenance crew for going above and beyond as far as that's concerned. And lastly, for those of you who knew Ron Ackerson, he's been with the city for how long, Mike? 18 years, something like that?
Yeah, pretty close to 20 years, 18 or 19 years.
He's our assistant superintendent, is leaving June 1st or the end of May. Take care of his wife and some other things.
He's retiring.
He will be missed.
Yeah.
We are having a retirement party held for him on May 30th from noon to 2 at the community center. Please feel free to stop by and wish him well. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. I'll try to answer any questions regarding maintenance if you have any.
Actually, I would like to comment on the pictures that were in, those were just great pictures in
Good.
there. And as far as the aerating, the golfers they've always complained about
I
those
know.
plugs.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just needs to be done.
Anyone else?
Had an opportunity to come in over the pass, and the golf course looked fabulous.
Yes, it looks really
it's
good.
so striking to come through that notch in the rock and see that course.
It's
beautiful.
green, isn't it? A lot of green, yeah. Okay,
Thank you all.
yeah, thanks. Just dive into the next one, or,
Well, you're not the next one.
oh, I'm not. I
No.
gotta go, okay. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Now we have the Recreation Superintendent report.
Sandy's filling in for Yvonne, so try to be nice to her.
Yeah, try to be nice. My name is Sandy. I am one of the recreation coordinators. I'll be here because Yvonne's not able to attend today. So just a couple of things. Nervous, a little bit nervous. Our summer brochure finally came out. It came out on May 4th, and we have different events and different programs going on during the summer. And I also have brochures for you guys, so after when I'm done, I will pass these out so you guys can see what we're doing over the summer. I do want to tell you about our dance class. Our spring recital was actually on April 27th at Kingman High School, and we had 23 performances, and we had about 130 registered for that class. On the recital, we actually brought in $2,582 in revenue between tickets and refreshments. Over the summer, we are going to have some more dance classes, more technique dances, so the dancers can keep their skills going, just so they don't forget it. What else? We are taking also fall registration dance classes as well, and that starts on August 5th. We have several youth tennis and youth pickleball lessons that are being held at Centennial Park. Our adult basketball finally ended. It was long because there was like delays in the schools and the facility usage also as well. So it finally ended on that. We are currently taking summer registrations for Little Tykes. Little Tykes are basically where little kids from ages 3 to 6 years of age can sign up for basketball, t-ball, soccer, and football, and it'll teach them the fundamentals of how to play those type of sports. So we're very excited about that. Our summer Fun Days camp, registration has started on that, so that's happening. We have almost 30, 40 signed up already, and our max is about 60, so that is filling up real quick. We do offer Little Chef cooking classes, dessert making classes. We have chess club and chess tournaments also as well. And we have our new program called STEAM, which is a science, technology, engineering, arts, and math program. This Friday, we have our drive-in movie. It is going to be held at Southside Park. We've tried having our drive-in movie last month, but it got canceled due to the weather. So crossing fingers that this Friday, everything will go well with that. And I do want to thank Park Maintenance because they do a really, really good job helping me with our drive-in movie. So kudos to them. Parks and Recreation Department has been setting up for our summer carnival that's happening on June 14th. So if you guys want to come over. You guys will have so much fun. After the carnival, we are also going to have a movie as well. So come on over and do that. If you guys also want to attend our 46 Mud Mania obstacle course, you guys should come out and do that as well. So that's going to be on July 11th, starting at 10 a.m. We do have several events going on in our Centennial Pool. We have our drive-in movie that's going to be happening on July 12th, starting at 7 p.m. And then we have like our teen night also as well, and I think that's it. I think we have like an ice cream also event going on at the Centennial Pool. I am having our family bingo dinner going on in August, and that's going to be held at the Kingman Academy of Middle School. Our lifeguards certifications course has begun, and the water safety course will be taking later this month. We did have to cancel our lifeguarding class the beginning of last month due to the weather. So they're going to be working on that this month. What else? All aquatic staff will begin training on May 24th through the 26th, and both Grandview and Centennial pools are scheduled to open on Monday, May 27th. So come on down, join, and take a little dip inside our pool. Nice and refreshing. What else? Our summer job applications were available since February, and interviews began on March 25th. And they are continued through early April until all vacant positions are filled. This year we did something new. Our concession stand at Southside Park, we finally took over that. So that is something that me and Yvonne decided to do, and with the help with Mike also. It's been going great. We did delay the first week because we had to order new equipment, and other than that, everything is going very, very well. Everybody's hungry right after, so yeah. And we also have been attending First Friday. So the past few months, we've been attending First Friday so we can promote Parks and Recreation with the events that we have going on. So we'll be attending the next one in June. And yeah, that's about it. Do you guys have any questions?
I have one, Sandy. I was looking at the brochure online, and the parade is scheduled for September 28th.
So
That's in the brochure, and then I went to Explore Kingman, and they have it on the 21st,
yes.
along with the rodeo.
So I was told that it was changed. So it was supposed to be on the 21st.
Okay, because I noticed on the 28th that you've got Oktoberfest brews and brats at Metcalf, and I thought there'd be quite the challenge.
In September or October?
September 28th.
Well, that's something that I'm going to look into right
But,
now.
yeah, check in to
actually.
make sure they got a permit for Metcalf at this time.
Okay. No, thank you for letting me know about that. This year, we did have struggles with our brochure, and I thought we caught all the mistakes, but I guess we didn't. I will look into that for sure.
Okay, also, it said that the parade application would be out
June 1st.
May 1st, and I
And
just
it's-
wanted to bring that up too,
Thank you.
especially if you got to change a date.
Yeah. We'll figure that out. Thank you.
Okay,
But it is going to be out on June 1st. I made sure. I made sure.
okay,
that
and the
one.
parade is on September 21st.
I would like to say yes, but I will have to confirm
Yeah,
with
that's the
Yvonne.
same weekend as the rodeo.
Yeah.
You get those horse applicants in the parade. It makes it a lot nicer.
That's why there was some confusion. I think there was challenging struggle in the with the rodeo because they had something else scheduled at that time, like a bike
Oh, yeah,
event.
the BMX.
BMX event.
That's what it
So
was.
there were some challenges, I think, to get those two worked out. So I think that's how that mistake happened, but we'll check into it for
Yeah.
sure.
no,
Okay,
we will.
very good. And anyone else have anything?
I just had a couple people asking me if kickball will be coming back.
Yes, we're hoping that it will come back. Hoping, yes, I hope so. Just as long as we get enough participants, then yeah, it'll happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what it is. It's participants that
It really
just need
is.
enough to sign up.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. And
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Sandy.
thank you. I'm actually gonna.
Thank you, Sandy.
And next up will be the park superintendent, Jerry.
All right, I'm Jerry Sipe, your park superintendent. So I'll start with the White Cliffs Trail South Trailhead. We had a ribbon cutting ceremony held for that. On the South Trailhead, the inmate crew came and helped us with trail work for 2 days. We put up split rail fence, a lot of dirt work was completed. We installed a trail hour sign, kiosk topper with the address, create additional walls and slab pieces from the downtown street shape project. So a lot of that wall, that whole retaining wall area we built up there was actually recycled concrete from downtown here. We put a picnic table and a bike rack at the trailhead, and new decorative trash cans have been added. We're also planning on putting a bike repair station up there. I'm on page 2 with is my Arbor Day planning. At Centennial Park, we put in 2 Mondale pines from our front office area. We had lost a tree there before. We installed our Blue Star Memorial Highway marker, which is what was presented earlier by Joanne. Me and Rocky Burdine worked on that. And then that was donated by the Surbat Garden Club. She kind of went over what it all does already, but it was installed. Pretty much it was just me and one other guy that did that work. Now I'll go on more with the trails updates. Let's have a little bit more with some of the last project from the White Cliffs Trail. We hired from a former American Conservation Experience employee, Josh Langdon. He worked with ACE as a part-time trails keeper to further help build and maintain our trail systems. During this quarter, we added 1.7 miles of trail out in there. We did the 4th Street connector, which is 0.3 miles with a 112-foot elevation change, and it's an intermediate trail. Then we have the Tough Break directional trail, which was a third of a mile with 75 feet elevation change, and is also intermediate level. Then we have the Hoppy Place directional trail, which is also a third of a mile with 116 feet elevation change, and that was considered an expert level. We have Beaver Trail add-ons addition of 6.7 miles. Phase 1 adds 4.5 miles of trail to the Camp Beal system. Phase 2 adds 2.2 miles of trail off the Rattler and the Camp Beal area. So safety training. We addressed snow and ice at the Park City locations over this quarter because we saw the winter months. We had a wiring issue that was fixed by DeWalt Electric at Centennial Park restrooms behind our office. All the doors at Centennial Maintenance Yard now have panic bars. I myself, Jerry Sipe, I got my recertification for certified pool operator this quarter. The dirt mounds on first base sides of field 1 and 2 at south were removed. Then going and jumping into the PET program that the city volunteered to join. Last fiscal year, the city joined it as a PEP, public entity partnership program, which is known as PEP, and it's with ADOSH. Parks and Golf participated in it on March 21st. For parks, all that we looked at so far was our Southside Park and Grandview Pool, and those are the only 2 sites that were evaluated this time. And we've been working hard on identifying opportunities with some extensions on some of the different factors due to order lead times, parts availability, and just getting parts and stuff like that in general. The rest of the park locations are scheduled for inspection in October of 2024. So, under our mission, vision, and value champions, 5 park team members actually received an award this quarter. I was one of them. Then we have Robert Cottle, He's one of our groundskeepers. Then we have our chemical applicator, Melvin Mendoza, groundskeeper Matthew DuPont, and equipment operator Mary Gates. Then on Adopted Park, where we have new adopters, Colorado River Trail Alliance, CRAD, has adopted the White Cliffs Trail System, and Cats to Swai has adopted the Dad Jumps and Happy Place trails. And we appreciate all the help we get from them, especially with not having inmates and stuff like that. Especially with all the new trails and stuff too going in. And Cats actually is good with Josh. He's worked with Josh with Ace doing trails. So miscellaneous repairs and improvements. American Fence completed a project at Centennial Park, including fencing out the fourplex at our fourplex, and adding a sliding gate between the tennis and pickleball courts, and an additional gate on field 6 and 7 that will help with our walk away from drugs event. We had vandalized bridge at Campbell Springs has been repaired. Our pool filter media at Centennial Pool has been changed out, and that's actually kind of a big job, and one of the issues we're running into at Grandview is getting those big tanks and emptying that media and changing it out. Grandview is a little bit more of a challenge because of its location. Aeration completed on all sports fields and several park locations. Field 5 got all new lights and are all now LED and on metal poles. And we're actually planning on in the future extending that field out and making it a larger field. We set up, tore down, and loaded or unloaded items for 4 events this quarter. One of them was the Employee Appreciation Lunch, the Family Camp Out, the Employee Health and Wellness Fair, and the Dance Recital for Rec. The Memorial Bench at Firefighters Park has been poured and installed. A pre-construction meeting for the Lewis Kingman Park upgrade was held, and we're ready to pretty much start construction this next month. The splash pad at Cecil Davis opened April 19th. We had 108 irrigation issues that we fixed this quarter. One of them was a line break at Centennial Park right before a tournament, but we had it repaired with no tournament conflict. Now, project special events. We have the Lewis Kingman Park Playground Edition that's coming up. It was originally scheduled to start this month, but now it's expected to start June 10th. Once complete, the parks team will be installing curbing and sidewalk to the playground. And the playground will be located behind Ramada 1. The Lewis Kingman Park upgrade for the restrooms is scheduled to start June 3rd. Final walkthrough is anticipated for the first week of October. Upgrade will include replacing the 2 Ramadas closest to the street and now adding power to the Ramadas. Then we also have our street drags and graduations that we're setting up for. We've already currently today, we moved every bleacher that we have in our department from both Centennial and Southside down for that event. Then from there, we'll be moving some for the graduations. Then it's a very time-consuming process actually moving those. We actually turn them into trailers. We have to go to each one individually, then actually trailer them and have a pace car. We have the Beale Street ribbon cutting that's coming up. We'll be supplying audio and stuff for that. And then we'll also be setting up several hundred feet of temporary fencing down there for that ribbon cutting for them to have the trackless train. Sunbelt Park, we are at 30% in the design. We have an IGA with Kingman Unified School District for an additional 6 acres in progress. City engineer Mike Garman is getting involved with the project. Recreation events will have varying roles in setup and tear down on many of the events that Sandy said that she had coming up. Our general maintenance repairs, May through July, is typically our busiest time of the year, not counting events and projects. We deal with the most growth of grass, weeds, bushes, and irrigation issues. And right now, the irrigation system is the biggest moving part of parks. And there's thousands of valves and heads that are out there working in our peak times 6 days a night. So now's when we see the bulk of breaks and other malfunctions. And anything goes wrong irrigation related, it only takes 2 days for your grass to yellow. So that's why you'll see spot that. We try to stay on it the best we can, but we have it scattered all over the city. All right, now going on to our new shade structures. So we got new shade structures at Pawnee and Canyon Shadows neighborhood parks. And then MROs, this quarter we did 331. And on the vandalism, our estimated damage that we've counted internally, we're estimating at 24,970. That's just for this fiscal year. All right, now to go kind of touch more like a little bit base, especially on your vandalism. I haven't marked here just vaguely what's happening in each part, but it'll kind of touch base on your graffiti. So Campbell Springs, we had the railing broken off the bridge. At Cecil Davis Park, graffiti in restrooms. Centennial Park, multiple incidents of graffiti. The toilet in the fourplex restroom was damaged. We had our dog park kicked in and the latch broken. And the bleachers and the shade structure leg broken at the fourplex. On the firefighters, we had multiple incidents of graffiti. Found in restrooms around the park and skate park. That one actually gets hit a lot with graffiti. I-40 walk path, which is right next to it, several instances of chain link being cut to gain access to that drainage channel where all that graffiti is, and a lot of times it'll channel over and get our sidewalk with the graffiti. Metcalf again, several instances of graffiti. Monsoon Park actually had 2 incidents of graffiti this time. Southside Park is more incidents of dugout gates being forced open. Wallach Ranch Park, we had the sinks in the restroom get filled with mud constantly, and we have to constantly remove mud from the P-traps and everything else in the in-betweens. We also had multiple incidents of graffiti, and we have light bollards that were damaged by Armada 3. Those light bollards actually at Wallach and Canyon Shadows, almost every quarter, probably almost, there's a couple, they just get knocked down. Those come in and break them. They get easy leverage on them and rip them out of the ground. The White Cliffs Trail System, we had a channeling device hit at the South Trailhead. That's just those little kind of cones you see that divert you go around the corner. One of those was broke off. And then we had lots of graffiti at that trailhead, at the Wagon Wheels Trailhead. Willow's Dog Park, our portable toilet continues to be heavily vandalized and camped in, and it's being replaced with another regular portable toilet, but actually had to get re-swapped out. But that should be it for my report. If you guys have any questions.
If I could just touch on one quick thing, Jerry, or a couple quick things. Jerry touched on the IGA with Kingman Unified School District. He mentioned 6 acres. We already have a IGA with Kingman Unified School District for the 6 acres, but we're requesting more, about almost 40,000 square feet more of their property for the drainage channel. So it's just an amendment to that, that IGA. And I already proposed it to the Kingman Unified School District, and I've got the documentation back from our city attorney, and I forwarded it back to Dr. Dorner at the school district, and their legal team will be going over it, and then we'll get it back to council for their approval and the school board for their approval. So that's kind of where that's at. And we're really happy to have city engineer Mike Garman, who's been getting involved in the design and stuff there, been super helpful too. And so we're working on a RFQ for a construction manager at risk for that project. So that will have to go to council as well once, but it's in the works right now with our finance department and legal team and city engineer. So that's kind of what we're working on there. So a lot going on.
Jerry, I have one question. The memorial bench that's going in, or has been gone into firefighters
Yes.
park, and then they're waiting on the plaque?
No, that already came in previous week. It's already been installed.
Okay, I was just wondering, thank you. Anyone else?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I thought you said I actually do. Sorry. Okay. This is awesome. You guys are doing such a great job, and your reports are so detailed, and I just appreciate it so much. And I can't believe how much you guys do. It really blows my mind. We're so fortunate. I just wanted to say, one, I just had a really great hike with my mom and my sister for Mother's Day at that 4th Street trailhead, and it was awesome. And I just had a couple questions. Are there any directional signs that are going to be going in there that haven't been put in yet?
Yes, there are. They just haven't been printed yet. So we've ordered them, and they should be getting them shortly. I'm thinking within the next week, probably.
Okay, awesome. I thought so.
Yeah, there'll be signs up top there telling you where it goes, and
Awesome.
Mike's really adequate on us with all those trail signs. We have a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so helpful. I
Yeah.
know that a lot of times trail builders put in the signs and they already know where the trail is. So sometimes when you have hikers come and they notice, like, I'm lost here and there, but you guys have done a really great job of putting in signs where it's
Well, I want
really
to just
intuitive.
get onto that too, and they throw a special thanks to my assistant superintendent, Matt Golder. Like, he gets out there and actually does them and makes sure he can make the best descriptions, and he's the one that actually sends out those signs to be made, but he's really good. He has a real passion for trails.
Yeah.
Really excellent employee.
I think this trail system is the easiest to hike for someone that's not very good at reading maps like myself. So I think people appreciate that. I'm super excited about the bicycle repair thing. That's really cool. I think I've asked you this before, and I'm sorry if I have, but will there be, a file that business owners or people any citizens may be able to get online and print of maps?
As a matter of fact, we're working on that right now with our engineering department to upgrade our website too, the city's website, with all the maps that all the trails that we've added, that they'll be all added on there with descriptions of each trail. Is it a blue or is it a black or is it a double black? So all that will be updated on the website, so.
We just have so many trails that we're so proud of here, and
Yeah.
I know that it's expensive to print a lot of these things, but I know there's a handful of businesses that would gladly print those maps to share with anybody that's coming in, you know?
Yeah, we're actually working on that this week. Matt was updating them, I know, on the computer and all that. I know he has them documented on Google Earth and other stuff, and I think that was the steps for all that.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting with the engineering department as well, and so we're just, to get all that detailed digital information is kind of challenging, so we're doing all that and getting, like I said, the descriptions all written up, and really, eventually, we need to have a master plan on our trails, and we've talked about that, and obviously, it's a key thing to continue to grow our trails the way we have, so.
Nice, well, that's really exciting, thank you.
Is that all the questions?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Actually, I did. I have one question. Well, actually, one comment. When I was, let me see, by field 6 and 7, I was in the restroom, and a woman made a comment that, oh, look, they got soap dispensers in here, and there's soap in here.
Yeah, they were probably brand new.
So, somebody from out of town, so
No,
wherever
we do keep
they're
up on them,
from.
and as in the past, and it's something that's still in the back burner, still kind of, we're still messing around with them as far as us building our own inside, as far as what we made with that metal case. But we still ran into issues here and there that we still haven't quite found. There is gonna be no foolproof anything, because sometimes you get to where you're just making it more challenging for them. You're not deterring them. But some places we do have those automatic ones we put behind kind of armor, but it's still hit or miss.
Okay, also on the trail signs, is it an actual sign that's going in the
Yeah.
ground, or, okay, I just didn't know if maybe a big boulder.
No,
With
we actually have them.
directional-
We actually have them printed out and on poles.
Okay, I just didn't know, a boulder, it's harder for somebody to steal, or,
Well, we put Gabion baskets around them too, so our
Oh,
trail signs are really nice. I mean, they've
Okay,
turned out
that-
really nice, and they
That's-
work pretty well, really.
that's good, thank you. Thank you, Jerry, now you were excused.
All right.
And we have the Golf Pro report.
This is like deja vu all over again for me. So hello once again. Been pretty busy for the past few months. We hosted the Battle of Mojave County on February 5th. Had 48 players. That's just different courses, coming and competing against one another, and they take turns going to different courses. We've spent a lot of time interviewing clubhouse attendants and groundskeeper positions on a monthly basis, trying to get some part-time people in there. I've had 2 or 3 people leave, and we brought 2 more people in, Al Sandoval and Bob Bambase, and they're both doing a good job. They were hired on March 11th. The Lake Havasu Elks group played on March 18th, and then a couple of days later, the Canadian Club, which is a group from Lake Havasu as well, came out and played. So they tend to come out about that time of year because it warms up a little bit here, but good group of people. As I reported earlier, the range netting was repaired in March. On March 23rd, we hosted the Geno Suggs Memorial Golf Tournament. I did not personally know Geno. I think he passed away a couple of months ago, but from what I understand, was a very popular person in the community and was a fairly good event with 72 players. My assistant Ty and I finalized our summer junior golf program. We've had 42 juniors signed up by the end of April, and it starts June 5th. So the closer we get to that date, the more and more people sign up. I met with the G1 rep and the IT team, our city IT team here. We're getting a new website. I estimate the new website will be launched probably July. It'll be a pretty good upgrade over the old one. So, and it didn't cost us anything, so a win-win there. All the leagues kicked off. Thank you for that, Sheriff. The Realtor League, the County League, and the City League. The County League plays on Thursdays. The City League plays every other Wednesday. We had our first City League last week, our Wednesday before the last, and had 27 players. Mike was out there. If you guys ever thought about taking up golf but don't know how to make that first step, I would really recommend that. That's a really cool way to do it. It's a scramble format. We try to mix it up to where you play with different people each week. Good way to get to know people as well. The Kingman Academy had their PTO golf tournament. 120 players. They had raised so much money, they decided to do another one in October for the, I believe it was the elite baseball squad as well. My assistant Ty passed his PAT on April 24th. That's the player ability test. That's a fairly difficult thing to do, so that's his first step in becoming a PGA member. So congratulations to Ty. We hosted, this was probably the coolest thing we did. We hosted the Route 66 disc golf tournament. We have 18, what do they call, baskets that they throw their disc into, and they brought out 15 more. So they played 33 holes in the morning, came in, had lunch, and played 33 holes in the afternoon to make it equal 66. And they had a great time, 78 players. We did that the weekend that the greens were aerated, because most people don't like to play on aerated greens. So we said, well, let's have the disc golf tournament then. I had a meeting with them the following week. And they liked it so much, they're thinking they can get 100 or 120 players next year. And they sent me a deal. I just got this a couple of days ago. I thought this was really cool. 18 disc golfers came in from Flagstaff, 7 from Henderson, 10 from Lake Havasu, 14 from Las Vegas, 3 from Phoenix, Tempe, St. George. They stayed at, 12 of them stayed at Airbnbs, 3 of them at, I guess, COA or some sort of camping venue, 17 hotels, 12 stayed with friends. So brought in some revenue for the community. Coming up, this is our tournament season. We have the Bighorn Golf Tournament coming up June 1st, Origin Mine Golf Tournament June 15th, Shuffler Tournament the 29th and 30th, and our junior camp begins June 5th. That's about it. Any questions?
Oh, I just wanted to comment that my youngest son, who is 38, did this junior golf 25 years ago.
25 years
So
ago.
it's been around for quite a while, and it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Big shoes to fill. Yep.
Anyone else?
I just would like to say too, thank you for they did a great job getting this disc golf when the greens were being airified. That was just a great idea, I think, too. So, you know, if we can continue to grow that during that time period, it's kind of a cool thing. So that was a really good job.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Director's report?
I don't really have a lot. I just have a couple things to touch on, and these guys did such a great job going over everything that they pretty much touched on it all for me. But like Jerry mentioned, the start date at Lewis Kingman Park is June 3rd is supposed to be the start date, so we're looking forward to that, and they say it'll be done by the end of July is what they're thinking, so we're hopeful that works like that. It's been a really busy time of the year for us with budget and everything, and we have some real important budget meetings with council coming up tomorrow and the next day, so we're really looking forward to that. Like our capital projects and budget approval, we've got some really big things in the works that we're trying to get worked up, so that, and really, I just wanted to say thank you to the team. Obviously, Jerry's guys have done a great job on all these projects that they get, and they get handed, any event that's going on in the city, basically, they end up getting handed help set up, help tear down, help do everything, so they do a great job with that, and I really appreciate that. I call it, we're the go-to department. I mean, when people are having an event, they call us, and we help make sure it goes good, so they do a great job with that. And obviously, recreation and aquatics, busy time of the year, trying to get everything going with all the programs and the pools and everything, so. And Patrick did a great job getting the cultural practices done this year, which is very, very important to get that done. And the Pro Shop team with all these new events, doing a great job there too. So, and taking care of the grill and everything's another challenging area, obviously. And thank you to Sherry and our part-time office staff, who sometimes don't get a lot of credit, but they're in there really helping us out, do a lot of stuff too. So basically, I think that's about all I have. Thank you to you all for the help you provide us. We appreciate your guidance, and the suggestions and questions that you have help us to get better. So we really appreciate that. And our next meeting is August 21st.
Hey, any announcements by commission members? I do have one. I would like to welcome Steve Smith to our commission. Help complete us here. Anyone else?
I just wanted to let everybody know that June 1st Friday will be our big ribbon cutting celebration downtown. It's a ribbon cutting and grand reopening of Beale Street, and so that's going to be at 5:30 p.m. and a lot of you will be there helping out. Thank you so much, but you're all invited. And we love that Parks participates, so it's really cool.
Anyone else?
I have something I'd just like to bring up. Mike and I talked recently about parkours here in town. And my wife and I were in Dallas not too long ago, ran into a park that had a fabulous park course. And the best thing about it was it had signage, and it told you just how to use this great apparatus. It's manufactured by a company called Playworld Systems. They have playworldsystems.com. You can go on there. For a mere $35,000, you can buy this really cool system. You know, we got parks coming up in locations. Might be something worth considering to install. Or there is a somewhat parkour system at Palo Christi Elementary School, and it's locked away. You can't get in and access it. And I wonder if there wasn't some way that the parks could negotiate with the school system and maybe get that open for public use?
Well, I'm not sure of that, but and I don't know whether we're supposed to talk about this when we're just doing the announcements, but we'll look into that and get back to you on that.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Mike, would it be possible at the next meeting for us to get some kind of a budget look to see I've never seen a budget in the years I've been here.
Yeah, and they're online too. Our budgets are online. Anybody can pull them up and look at them at any time.
Well, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Just shoot me
All right.
a link so I
Yeah.
can go look at
I
it.
sure will.
I think that's important for the commission to as a whole, to at least look at
Yeah.
and make our recommendations for whatever they are, but something I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Okay, we could put that on the next agenda. Also, your item 2.
One last thing.
Okay.
I just got to say, the White Cliffs trails are fabulous. We had an opportunity to ride them with a large group not too long ago. Had a great time, found a couple new trails that I hadn't ridden before. The trip up the zigzags off of 4th is pretty challenging.
Supposed to come down that. Supposed to come down that.
Well, there's two corners
Yeah.
that you pretty much have to stop and pivot and start again. They're a little tight, but other than that, that place is fabulous.
Yeah.
It's everybody involved did a great job on that.
Thank you very much. Very proud of the work our guys did there, and obviously the trail people, so we're very, very fortunate.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And John seconded it. Thank you. And all in agreement?
Aye.
Thank you.